Hey there everyone, Seth Campbell here with the new Segue Says podcast. Well, as you can see, I'm in a brand new location. This is the first time I have filmed one of these home in Amesbury. Probably not the last. But since this is a new setting, I'm afraid I don't know going in how the volume distribution is going to be. So hopefully you'll forgive that. And also, as you can hear, I've got a bit of a cold, so hopefully you can forgive any vocal mishaps that may happen. Now this week, the two songs are connected by both being in the same key, C major, and by a tentative connection in the lyrical themes. And I'll explain that as we get into them. The first song is called Kitty Hawk. It's by Livingston Taylor. The second song is On the Moon by Peter Cincotti. Now these are two artists I really like, and I've mentioned Cincotti before here. This is the first time I've picked a Livingston Taylor tune for this podcast. Livingston Taylor, I'm sure a lot of people would know him as James Taylor's younger brother, but he's a very accomplished songwriter in his own right. He had his first hit with I Will Be in Love with You, and the thing I really like about him as a performer is he's very energetic, very enthusiastic, and he's absolutely hilarious. And he's got songs that are beautiful and sad and meaningful, and then he's got some really goofy songs that are, all about making the audience laugh and getting the performance. And this is, oddly enough, kind of a combination between the two, because it's a song about the Wright brothers inventing flight. It's on his most recent album, Last Alaska Moon. And I actually saw him performing it before it had been released, and I got to talk to him eventually after it had been released, and there's a great story there that I'll tell you sometime if you're interested. Just let me know. But I'm going to play for you a verse and chorus of Kitty Hawk, just so you get the feel. What a time for humankind, what an era to be in. Electric light to push back night, Einstein in Berlin, Edison and movies, world's rolling wheels, Rockefeller's energy, Morgan's ruthless deals, dipped into this mix to earnest quiet men who with their sister Catherine the adventure did begin. And that was the time they looked and they saw the giant that became flight, pitch, roll, go, and they can fly, they can soar into the air, look into forever, find a future there, spread your wings, we're about to be free. Kitty Hawk, December 1903. And as you can hear, it's actually a very beautiful song. It's very informative. It's one of only a small handful of historical songs that I know, and I love to perform this one and to tell the stories behind it. And so, as you can hear, hopefully you can hear the lyrics. Like I said, I don't know what the mix is going to be. It's a song about the Wright brothers inventing flight in 1903. And the second song, On the Moon by Peter Cincotti, is actually, it's a love song, but it uses the idea, the feeling of loneliness and isolation as being out in space on the moon, looking back at Earth and wondering what's going on down there, if the person you love is wondering where you've gone or how you're doing way out here on the moon. And so here's a verse and chorus of that. You know I care for you, pretend to lead me on is all you do. I tried to still believe, but now I'm through. The only place I see is calling out to me. It's the only place I know. It's the place where I must go. On the moon, that's where you'll find me soon. probably already hear the similarities. They're both very melodic, beautiful songs in the key of C major, very piano-driven. And so combining these two really isn't that difficult. It's a one-way segue. And I guess the theme I'm trying to go for lyrically, if you wanted to look for one, is the progression from learning to fly and flight, and the last verse of the Livingston Taylor song actually references how nowadays we're going into space, and then the second song you've got a guy who's imagining himself in space looking back down on it. I love both of these songs. On the Moon is quite possibly one of my favorite Peter Cincotti songs. Even though it is on one of his earlier albums, I'm told he's not too fond of that album these days, but I think it's a great song. And it may have something to do with the fact that I can relate to it a lot more than I liked it, but that's another story. Anyway, so this is one of those, and I've done a few of these, where basically you stop on the last chord of the first song and just begin playing the second song, kind of out of the haze, if you will. But to do that with the Livingston Taylor song, the Livingston Taylor song has a bit of a dramatic ending that I tend not to use if I'm doing this segue, because it normally ends after the last verse, 19-3. Dramatic sweeping ending. It slows down so you know that this is the end. But rather than do something that dramatic with the big voicings in the right hand, I tend to keep it a little simpler, and I just do the turnaround riff that is at the start of the verses after the chorus. And so that still lands you on the C major. And the first chord of On the Moon is actually an F, but that's the natural 4 of the C major, so it really doesn't feel odd to just go to that from the C major. So this is what you do. No, Kitty Hawk, December 19-3. F to C instrumentally a couple times if you want to, totally optional, but it gives a little space between the different lyrics, so I like to do it. You know I care for you, pretend and lead me on is all you do. I tried to still believe, but now I'm through. And that then is where the Cincotti song really builds up. So as I said, this is a one-way segue for the sake of the very tenuous at best lyrical arc that you can make with it. But I really like playing these songs. I like both of them because there's... I'm trying to... I guess it's not necessarily common to the two. The first song, it's amusing as a concept when you think, oh, it's a song about the Wright brothers. That sounds hilarious. And then it's actually this incredibly beautiful, historically accurate, thought-provoking song. And then On the Moon, there's a lot of imagery, particularly in the second verse and the bridge. There's a very simplistic, sort of innocent touch to it. And so both of these songs are songs, that you can play in just about any context. So that's how this segue came about, because I've been playing these for quite a while now, and just kind of joined them together a little more recently. So that's those two songs. I suppose you could do On the Moon into Kitty Hawk, so you could do this the other way around, but then the lyrics, whatever possible arc there becomes backwards, and I don't know if that would work as well. So that's the way I like to play that. So thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you could hear things. I'll have to review this video afterwards. But hopefully you've enjoyed it. I will see you next week.